Tweet, dang it. Tweet.
Welcome back to Against the Iron Storm with Dread Canary. I am the Dread Canary. The game is Against the Storm, the roguelike city builder that is in early access, expected to be released in full this summer, 2023. In the Iron Man run, we will play every difficulty twice, and if we lose, we have to go in, reset all of our progress, restart from the tutorial, and start the climb again with the goal of beating Prestige 20 twice without ever losing a game. We're at 26 wins, which means that it's time to go to Prestige 9, and we still need artifacts and food. And that tells me that we need to go to this Monastery of the Holy Flame, which will give us both of the secondary benefits. We could go down here to the Forbidden Lands. Can't quite reach. So you know what? Let's go ahead and lock this in because it's what we can get. And in the hopes that we push out that way, we'll go here. Sounds good. Now, last time we called ourselves Cordial, so this thing I'm thinking something like Delirious. There we go. We want a caravan with 11 people if possible, and thankfully that lets me bring my beloved beavers into the mix. Now, with the monastery here, I'm not going to be able to deny food consumption. So I feel like that means I'm going to want to be producing food, and we are now at a level where goods are worth less to traders. So if I want to get money, if I want to get amber, I'm going to have to use trade routes, which I've been doing, so no real loss there. I'm feeling that I want to start with a small farm because usually the Royal Woodlands are pretty good for farming, and we'll grab 42 meat. Not that beavers like it, but it is the most meat that we can get for our money. You know what? Scratch that. Let's get roots instead, and go ahead and get in there. Now, of course, the prestige difficulties all continue to add on to the challenges that were introduced in the previous prestiges. So let's take a look at our mysteries, which will change every time. Gathering speed is up 50% during drizzle. It's very nice, especially for clearing out our initial glade. Looming darkness, okay, that's our usual debuff. Opening glades during the storm causes a massive debuff, so we're not going to do that. At hostility 3, global food production slows down. That's not really a problem. Cloud burst is nasty. We get an escalating global result. Well, not escalating, but we get a -6 global resolve penalty if we don't have coats equal to our number of villagers. And then at 7, people just start dying. Automatically, nothing I can do. So, obviously, we can't let it get to hostility 7. And if possible, we need to find ways to manage cloudburst because I don't want to produce that many coats. They take forever. And they're just not that great. They're fine. They're not bad. They're just not great. And I think this is the most lopsided I've ever seen my starting zone. We are, of course, going to start with our traditional 2 woodcutting camps. And we are going to clear out around our warehouse. We're going to set the automatic behavior to only marked trees because this is the Royal Woodlands where the trees grow in delightful little rows, which means I can make beautiful squares. Yes, I do actually think squares are beautiful. Come at me, Pythagoras, and your cult of mathematicians. If you weren't aware that the Pythagorean theorem was discovered by a dude who made a cult out of math, well, there's a little bit of history for you today. I'm not making that up. It's amazing. I love the idea that someone could be so into numbers that they form a cult. And not like in the modern, he's a cult leader. He's got a culty personality. He's got a culty vibe that seems to be throwing around in my part of the internet, that people are using it as just kind of a catch-all insult for some reason, for anyone friendly. But actually a cult that lived outside the main cities of Greece. They got weird about math out there. But regardless, squares, much better than triangles, and you can come at me. There we go. So I have squared up some trees, I've made some woodcutting camps, and of course we will want a harvesting camp. And we will want a trapping camp. And we will want a foraging camp. And we want a lizard on the hearth. And we will hold down shift, that beautiful trick that we learned a couple of episodes ago, to just auto-fill. And let's increase our speed. Let's go. All right, first benefit. More meat when we meet, or more herbs and root when we biscuits. So beavers love biscuits, lizards don't. More meat when we meet. We already have a source of meat, but this doesn't scale unless I keep getting sources of meat. I love the way biscuits can just pop off with the spices upgrade, but I would need an herb garden, and what I have is a small farm. I'm not taking free villagers because I don't usually deny villagers coming in every year. And I do like the generous gifts, but it'll take a few years before this pays off. So I think I'm going to go for it with the meat every time we meet. More meat when we meet. Now, ideally I'll start meeting next year. And the reason for that is I only have one lizard, and I want to take full advantage of the lizard's hunting bonus, where they have that 10% chance of bonus yields. Speaking of bonus yields, we've got an option of opening 3 glades and restoring 1 building to get +1 stone and clay production. We know how much I love my plus productions. Or open 5 glades, and then glade events can carry more items. Now this is really good for solving events quickly and for emptying events quickly. And we know how much I love farming glade events to try to get more Citadel resources, because I'm concerned about not being able to unlock everything before Prestige gets really hard. But these flat bonuses are really powerful, and I'll be able to get them a lot sooner if I get at all lucky with ruins. So we're going to go with Lost in the Woods. We've got a small farm, and flat +1 production is very nice. I'm not too concerned about tools. I think there's other ways to get tools. So I'm going to get farm life here. Ooh, thank you. See, we've got another subscriber in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'm actually at the point where I can have subscribers, and that's very exciting for me. Okay, so complete 2 dangerous events to get +1 copper, but the problem is we're only going to get copper from clay deposits. So this isn't terribly good. Opening 3 glades in 17 minutes means I have to open up 2 in the next year. 3 parts is nice. The weaver is very good. But I don't like being pushed into dangerous glades, because what if I get unlucky, right? And then I also lose an order. Whereas this gives me +1 plank production when I have beavers who need planks for their housing. So we're going to go with the big delivery. It'll let us get really, really efficient. Now, in other news, I finally worked things out with the place that I'm ordering my cards from for my custom game, and they say that my image is low res, but it at least is in the right format. And so I got notification this morning that it's getting printed and should arrive in about 2 weeks. So hopefully I can start plugging a card game in the near future, though depending on how low res it ends up being, I may have to make some adjustments to my design. Toss 2 beavers over here, and just to start making people happy, let's put down some temporary housing. I've got 11 people, and the basic shelters house 3. So 4 times 3 is 12. That'll be enough for everybody. And then if I just make some very nice, basic, comforting walls that we know and love on this channel, that is going to get us tier 1 hub, which will give us that decent resolve boost, which should kick in about halfway through the storm if I understand my timings correctly. Now, I don't have these memorized by any means, and I definitely don't think you have to optimize this game completely, even at the highest difficulty. But after playing a lot, I do get a feel for how long it takes. Zoom card games when I will battle. It's not that kind of. It's a lot like Hearts, but themed off of astrology. If I haven't talked about it before. And the gimmick, as it were, is that the sun and the moon change positions as you play, which changes which cards are your trump cards and your stronger cards, in a way that is easy to explain, and will always be able to be referenced at the table itself. Like you hear in fantasy games about card games where the values change and the rules change based on the time of the month and the position of the moon, but that's impossible to memorize. Like it's not a playable, functional game. It would be confusing. So I figured out how I can do something similar-ish and capture that vibe, but have rules that fit on like a piece of paper, not a big one. And I figured it out while getting my oil changed. So if anyone's putting off getting their oil changed, like I've been, because I've drove like 8,000 miles in the last year. Keep in mind that sometimes daily tasks can be inspirational. That's year 2, and I still haven't picked a single building. But we did get ourselves to the second or the first tier of hub. So that's great. Let's see what we have. Oh, well, it's just lizards and beavers anyway, so let's go with that. Terrace resistance, 50 for every impatience point you have. That makes it easier to deal with cysts. 1 amber for every 50 wood produced. This is massively powerful now that the traders don't give me as much value for selling directly to them. I have to use trade routes to get amber. So this would be huge. I can't take it for reasons that we're getting to in a moment. Brawling increases what we get back from glade events. Lizards do like brawling, so it's not bad, but given how desperate we are to get Citadel resources as fast as possible, because we're trying to outscale the difficulty, I have to go with extraction tools. I just have to. I need the artifacts. So we are going to just rush our way into this glade and try to open it as soon as possible. We're going to send our next 2 lizards as promised into the trapper's camp. Well, let's pick some buildings, shall we? Okay, so the advanced Explorer's Lodge is actually pretty nice. +1 wealth effect for every salvaged ruin. That's better if we find some ruins, but we have to find at least 1. We don't know how good this is, but it can be amazing. The brickyard is nice because we will need bricks for lizard housing and also in general. And it lets us set up a crystallized dew production chain for potential tools. 2 stars. I think they changed that. I think it used to be only 1 star. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't build crystallized dew very often. And the advanced rain collector is tempting given the way they set up the new system, so we could just collect rain out of the sky. But I think it's a tough call. Oh, especially since we have cloudburst, so the artisan might be necessary. Oh, I hate that I'm doing this. I'm taking the artisan. Okay, now of these, as much as I love the forum, and I do, I love the forum. I say I love the forum every time it comes up, but I'm taking the forester's hut. And my reasoning is I need access to tools, and being able to grow crystallized dew is stellar. Okay. So we don't need this because we don't need crystallized dew, and we don't know if we'll need cosmetics, so Alchemist Hut is terrible. The Scribe is good for beavers. It makes 2 things that beavers need, but one-star tools is not... I'm not that desperate for tools. The market, since I don't know if I'm going to have harpies, doesn't make sense. The market cards is a very good buff, but I want it to be efficient. So I'm going to take the Explorer's Lodge, where I know that I at least have races that want to use those resources. Drop down a crude workstation. And there we are. Okay, so what's our first event? We can just solve it. It's just a -8 globally. That's fantastic. And let's take the people, because we're still trying to get our feet under us. And I think people make sense in this instance. We are also Going to make one more house there. And no, that's going to open that glade. I don't want to do quite that far. So we just want it to be this line. And then we do want to get all of that. And of course, the fact that we have a small farm blueprint means that I don't need to salvage this, but it has the option of building plant fiber and 3 stars instead of 2 stars. So we are going to take this. Oh, wow. Thank you so much. You didn't just subscribe, you subscribed to someone else. I appreciate that so very much. Thank you, thank you. I'm feeling very supported. And you've already supported the channel in a lot of ways that I'm not going to get into right now. Okay, so this is 12 villagers needing jerky, which means we're definitely going to have the villagers. Our third race is going to like jerky because both harpies and humans like it. +2 to jerky production. This is good long term. This is also not bad, but it, like, the benefit here is I just have to do it once. Like, I can do this over time. I don't have to do 12 simultaneously. But +1 eggs doesn't seem nearly as good as +2 jerky. Packs of production yields while making goods could be very good for setting up trade routes. But I think I want the parts and the beaver happiness because I just love beavers. I just love beavers so much. They're so good. And I'm going to keep defending that despite getting downvoted on Reddit every time I bring up how much beavers are my best race and how much I don't like and don't enjoy harpies. There are some serious harpy stands out there. Oh, and as promised, now that the vote is closed, I voted for the toads. Out of the toads, bats, and foxes option for the 5th race. My thinking is that foxes looked cool. They looked cool, but they were pretty, and we already have a pretty race in the harpies. I wanted something a bit more visually distinct, and I just don't dig the whole goth punk vibe that they had for the bats. So I thought toads who liked the rain sounded fun. I imagine that they're going to not have resolve issues, but that they're going to be impossible. Like, beavers are hard to get resolve points from. I imagine that toads will be much harder because their base is going to be so much higher. Like, it's going to take so much more for them to... Now, that's not confirmed. That's just going off the 1 paragraph description that we got prior to voting. But it's what I read into it, is the idea that these guys like the rain, and if they like the rain, then they shouldn't have too many negatives as far as, you know, water goes. Let's go ahead and construct a blight post. How do I want to do this? I didn't really clear out the space that I wanted for it. Let's put it here. And for this blight post, we're going to need planks and we're going to need bricks. We're also going to need parts, which I have. Okay, so we're going to start by doing planks and bricks, and we're going to say we want 10 of everything, and don't make pipes yet. Harvester's camp is out of harvest. Well, that's cool, because there's tons of harvest to harvest over here. And we're doing this because that update to the blight system means that we're definitely going to get blight cysts next year, no matter what I do. So I might as well prep for them. We never did build that extra house. Now I've got a ton of workers, but my people are unhappy. Okay, so let's go ahead and stick 2 beavers in here, collecting food. And we are going to build ourselves a temporary trading post. We are going to delete this later. We're just going to plop it there so we have it. And we also want, I believe we can do this with, oh, we can't do it. Oh, no, we can do it with stormwater. Okay. Which means I need a rain collector. I don't love that I need a rain collector, but I do need one, so no use complaining about it. People are mildly unhappy, but should be alright. And I think we're going to stabilize on food pretty quickly. Is that all the fertile ground? I don't see any more poking up between the trees. But we can totally do that. We're most of the way through the storm, and only now are beavers getting unhappy. But I should probably... Oh, I can't favor them because I'm next to the monastery. That's right. Okay. Fuel is fine, so let's go ahead and do a quick happy burn. Okay, so yeah, I can't favor and I can't change consumption, but the happy burn is making people happy, so it's working as described. So that's great. Okay, and now I stop. I'm gonna move this just a little bit back, and that's all good. We've got plenty of wood. We've got people working in here. We've got food being produced. We're gathering supplies. Our third race is humans. Oh, for Abjust Day. All right, let's go ahead and do that because we've got a ton of beavers already. We're going to swap you out for a human to give us that bonus time that we love so much. We did this double last time, which is how we won so fast by making our lizards happy. Lowering hostility from glade events seems good, because we want to do anything we can to avoid hitting hostility 7 during the storm. And I do need to throw 3 lizards into the blight post and tell them to use wood to make 10 fuel. Now, of course, I can't do anything for Hilda because, like... She won't give me amber for anything. So it's not, like, I can't get to these prices. There's no way for me to afford it right now. But it is there for when I'm ready to later, and that is great. So we have it built at least. We still haven't done any of our events, but that's fine. We are building up our infrastructure to get there. I've got a bunch of loose workers who aren't doing anything, so we need to... Well, this needs to get finished. We can build another house. And then we should probably work on that makeshift post. You know what? Let's build one more house. Just for now. We're going to run a road around here. Even though I'm going to replace these with other houses, I'm going to replace them with houses. So that's going to work pretty nicely as far as the look goes. Woodcutters camp. Okay, yes, only marked trees. Go down here. We're going to try to open up this glade in year 4. Which is a little late, but I think it's fine. Okay, that's up and running. Trapper's Camp. Doesn't have anything it can do because I couldn't afford the upgrade. So we're just going to slide it to the side for now. And actually, we're going to delete it. Because we don't have enough parts for this. Hi. Have a kiln and get 60 coal to get +1 brick production. I would love this. If we can get an option on a kiln, we'll take it. Two upgraded to neighborhood to get another +1 to planks. Yes, please. We know how much. Oh, hey. Welcome, welcome. I see we've got a raid. Very exciting. In case you haven't been here before, I'm the Dread Canary, and this is an Against the Iron Storm run. What I'm doing is playing every difficulty twice, and then increasing the difficulty, and if I lose, I have to reset my progress. We are currently on Prestige 9. So that's where we're at right now, is Prestige 9, and we are slowly clearing our way into another field right now. Thank you so much. I very much appreciate the raid. Let's go ahead and put 2 beavers in there because we want storm water so we can make this hunted small farm. On top of that, what else can I be doing? Let's actually increase this to 20. No harm in having extra reserves. And we can raise this all to 20 as well. And we can lower the priority on those. We don't need that anymore. Cool, cool. Okay, so Woodcutter's Camp, that's right. I don't want to open this late in the season, so we'll do that. We have the Creeping Shadows as a reminder. So opening a glade during the storm would give us a -10 global resolve. And I'm not confident that those woodcutters would be able to get through that before the storm finished. Let's see, what else do we need to be doing? We need 7 packs of building materials, which we are going to make out of planks. Planks? You know what? I'm going to allow also cloth. But we're going to say 7. I'm going to go ahead and put 2 beavers on that for now. Okay, now because of Cloudburst, I definitely do not want to be at Hostility 3. I don't have coat infrastructure set up and running, so we can't do that. So what we're going to do is, of course, fire. I don't know if I need to fire all of my beavers. I usually do, but I think we might be okay for now. Maybe. We're going to go ahead and, of course, start building the next addition to our comforting wall. There looks better. And we'll just build a road out that way. And then, of course, we'll want a corner. And that, plus some aesthetics buildings, will get us to our next tier. 1, 2, 3, 4. They can just live out here for now. We will, of course, beautify the city in a bit. Okay, now with beavers being less unhappy, we do that, and everyone's good. We're going to bring this down here because I'm pretty confident we're not going to open this glade. You know what? Let's not risk it. You're fired too. I don't want to risk the 2-minute debuff on resolve when opening a dangerous glade that might itself cause issues. Just a little more stormwater. Did we get enough stormwater? Yes, barely, but we got it. Okay. And we want humans, okay? So we can start bringing up our human level. That's excellent. This is a victory condition. All farms being able to plant mushrooms is huge. Villager speed is also nice with a +1 to resolve. I think I want mushroom seedlings in this case. We're going to go investigate the farm because we are running out of food. And we're going to swap out these beavers for humans, because they've got that 10% chance of bonus yields, which is very nice. Just a little bit more. One tree. Alright, now our dangerous event is a global resolve penalty. I don't love that. 6 tools could be good, but they're not enough on their own to do anything. So I think we're actually going to go with Citadel Resources here, or Happiness and Reputation. Let's go ahead and send a couple of lizards on that, which of course makes them miserable, but if I fire these beavers, we should be able to play Resolve Pong. Wait, I can't favor anybody. That's going to be a problem. Okay, here's what we do. We turn off making planks. And we fire even more beavers so that we're down to hostility 2. And that's still not enough. Okay. What else can I do for my lizards? Oh, lowering hostility would be great, but I can't afford anything, so it doesn't matter what I'm looking at right now. We can't afford anything. How are we looking for building materials? Well, we've got some bricks. Maybe I can start thinking about some housing? Additional cysts appeared. Is that from last year? Because we don't have any right now. Let's go ahead and... Where can I get a lizard? You don't have to be a lizard. I'm going to put a lizard in here, which will help with our happiness issues a little bit. Not really enough. Furnace is also quite nice as an option. Beaver resolve is low. I can't really afford to burn anything. I think I just have to deal with the fact that people are going to leave. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this all beavers. And let's make this beavers as well, because I think we're less likely to lose beavers than the other races. Where are we at? We're at 82. Okay. Okay, now we're at 61, and now you've got a little more... Not enough, okay. 57. We just can't get it there. Well, if we can't get it there, we can't get it there. Okay, we're losing builders. This is not looking good. Probably shouldn't have done both of these at once. Craftsman. Okay, well, now we're at hostility 1 because the queen is super pissed, but wow, even at hostility 0 we can't get there. Well, looks like we just have to tank it for another minute and hope. As long as I've got my scouts. This is real bad. Hey, look, my harvester's camp's out of stuff. That's always fun. And then, of course, they're going to be hungry because we don't have food. But, you know... Oh, that's horrible. Okay, so we've stopped the bleeding, but now the queen is very, very angry at us. which is, it's a problem. That is indeed a massive, massive problem. But what's our immediate concerns? Our immediate concerns are food, so we're going to get some food. And we need another glade, and we can't afford a negative event like that. So we are going... Okay, we're not happy burning. We're going to go ahead and open a small glade, which I don't normally do. But in this case, I want it just for the points. I'm going to go ahead and bring this up here. We got plenty of housing. We have a lizard house up. What else do we have that we can do? We can fire these lizards. We can put them in here. And we can put 3 beavers in this. Next order. No, we're not doing that. Forum I would love, but I don't think I can. Let's do the standing level. Because at this point, we are in just full-on survival mode. This is a horror show. But I think we're okay. Because that's going to overlap with the storm. That's real bad, too. But you know what? You do what you can do, and you hope it works out. We don't need any more stormwater right now. I don't have any humans. Our next set of people is coming in 3 minutes, which is at the end of the storm. So let's go ahead and put 2 beavers on farming. And for now, we're going to focus on food. Just regular old food. Because we desperately need to have food so that my people don't get any angrier at us. Alright. I've salvaged some pretty rough runs. But not... Well, I've salvaged some pretty rough runs. On stream, I haven't done it at this high of a prestige level. But I think this is still savable. I think we can do this. People are mad. But they're not that mad, is the thing. And in 5 seconds, they're not mad at all. Good. Okay. Now we've also got our first order. That's great. We're going to go ahead and say 15 is our new cap to get this order. And I think that this isn't going to raise hostility that much. So we can go ahead and claim it. We're going to take a ranch. Scrolls are good, tools are good, but the ranch... Yeah, we're taking a ranch. Reason we're taking a ranch is because we've got that meat, that bonus meat every 25 times we meet. We have lizards. We have an order that requires us to produce jerky. And I think it's just the best way for us to stabilize because we're going to have so much that we can use to power a ranch. Can this get moved? It can. That's excellent. So if I find a bigger field, I can move this onto it. And we can then put like just a regular farm there. Get out. I don't want them cutting into this and getting us a penalty just when the storm's about to lift. Okay, back in. And we're going to do... Right, we're out of beavers. That's correct. Okay. Can we get a human? We can get a human. You become a human, give us more time, because the queen is already mad, and we don't want to make her madder. Get more farms going. 2 amber for every 6 packs of trade goods. 2 packs of provisions for herbs. Trade routes are faster. Trade routes are faster. We've got the standing level order that we have to do. I'll look at that. That is a meat option and a stone building. We just need the parts for it, which we don't have, but that's okay. We can reactivate plank production. And now we've got bonus clay and stone, so the queen's less mad. Ooh, oh, that's... Okay, game, why are you doing this to me? So we're skipping the Druid tide. It does not get us enough that we need to win. But we've got small farm and we've got the hollowed farm. So a rain mill would help us make flour, which sets up the base of the other half of our production chain, letting us use all that grain that we can make in our farms to make biscuits and pie. The granary, of course, is amazing because it gives us access to efficient fabric, and it's a farming building, so humans get a bonus. Plus, both beavers and lizards like pickled goods. And of course, the temple opens up the ability for us to have a tier 3 hub, but we've already got the Explorer's Lodge. So I'm going to go with the granary in this case because we can currently still use our grain to make meat. So I'm not as worried about setting up a longer production chain. Yeah, that is what we're doing. Maybe I should have gone with the other one just for the building materials efficiency for that order. But, you know, I didn't, and I think we're okay. Now, with all this excess housing, it may make sense to start upgrading. Let's move this guy up here, and we're going to push this way. And the plan is to almost, but not quite, open that glade because we're going to need the glade hopefully next year. I know I normally like to open one glade per year, but I can't right now. I just can't right now. I don't have the infrastructure. All right, this would give us effective bricks. We've got tons of bricks, and we've got some tools. Let's go ahead and open up a furnace. Seems like a good thing to do. Okay, we've got a little bit of money. Planting is faster? No. Cookhouse is actually very nice. What can we make in the furnace? Is it just pie? Yeah, it's copper bars, bricks, and pie. I would love a source of jerky. Not a one-time infusion of jerky, though that could work. I just don't have the money to really get anything. So what we're going to do is we are going to buy some food. We're keeping 20 in case of a glade event. I should have more by the time we get to the glade event, but I'm just having it just in case. And since we're going to be able to grow plant fiber, I'm not too worried about having plant fiber here. There we go. And that'll keep the lizards and beavers happy. It'll give us some food while we're getting our food supplies up and running. So that is going to be very, very nice. And of course, chat, you are welcome to ask questions, provide feedback on my gameplay, other comments if you want to throw them my way. I'm happy to engage. As you can see, we don't have a ton of people in here, which means every comment gets seen for now. Oh, this glade might actually be easier to get to. I wasn't originally going to go through the small glade, but now that I have, squaring up this area makes a lot of sense. This built? This is built. Okay. So now we no longer make bricks in this building. Because what we're going to do is have you come down, and for now, we are only going to make bricks here. But they can make as many as they want. I don't care. There we go. We don't have anything to make bricks with. If I go here and we delete that, we still don't have anything to make bricks with, so maybe don't work there just yet. Lizards are happy, so that's nice. We're not turning on plant fiber yet. The harvester's camp can't really go anywhere. So maybe what we do is we rebuild a trapper's camp with parts that we don't have, which means we have to scrap this for parts. And actually, that's an argument in favor of having this be a pair of beavers. Because that way this can be a pair of lizards who will get that 10% chance of double yields. Alright, alright. The Queen's still angry, but we're making progress, and that is great. Final order. Have a bunch of water. Have a bunch of water. Need to make geysers to get to that, because our cap is currently 50, but it should be alright. Okay. Hostility 2 is not bad. People are very happy, so I think we're okay for this storm at least. And we should start making packs of provisions out of herbs. That's perfect. Because we need to be doing trading. We don't need grain for next year, so we're not going to have any. Lizard resolve is low, but that's okay. We're almost over. And it doesn't look like we're going to be getting to a glade this year either, because we're still kind of in recovery mode. Oh yeah, 100% protected trade, so that we can keep the hostility down. We definitely want 2 humans, so we can replace these beavers with humans and get those nice harvesting bonuses going. Let's put a second beaver in here. Okay, nothing there that I can be doing. Just trying to see what else we can do to make our people even happier. Right. Well, we need another hearth, don't we? And we got plenty of space. Let's go ahead and set up another hub down here. Generally, I don't do them this far apart. Can I... Well, where I'd want to put it, just because it pleases me aesthetically, is here. But clearing that out is going to take a while. Maybe... You know, I don't actually need another hearth yet. We're just doing it for the order anyway. So let's go ahead and plan on putting it here when we are in that glade. Meanwhile, this is waiting on planks. Everything's waiting on planks. But that's okay. Let's turn off using planks here and actually turn on bricks. And then we're going to delete these planks and this fabric. Additional blight rot cysts appeared because it's year 6, and this is why we keep the extra fuel around. So I can just toss some lizards in there and we should be fine. Hello, old Farlef. I don't have any money right now, so I can't buy anything, and you don't have food. So, good day to you, sir. But with this getting us a ton of meat, and being able, like, once we've got more of that going, nice. So you get fired. We don't want to actually make any more building materials ever. We just want packs of provisions. We can turn this in. Getting us beavers, getting us parts. And those parts are going to come in handy because now I can open up this stonecutter's camp. Small forager's camp is out of foraging. Well, that's okay. We've got a plan. Or we've got the shape of a plan, at least. Houses are going up, and now that we're making 8 wood into 3 planks, the efficiency is not as dire as it was. We can toss a couple of beavers in here. We need those lizards where they're at. This should be a beaver. And we can now put a lizard over here. I know that that's a long way with no storage. So we should fix that, shouldn't we? Let's go ahead and put a storage here. We don't have the parts for a storage, but you know what? We'll at least put it there. And now we've got some efficient bricks coming in. And we can also... We never built that granary. We're just going to slide this up here for now. And let's turn in this order. Gives us 2 more humans. Pretty great. What else do we have now? You know, I've got lizards here just because it makes them happy. And honestly, their happiness is not as important as my food chain. So what we're going to do is we are going to do this. We're going to say use, not that, use this and use the other 2 fabrics to make leather just more efficiently. We're going to use grain to make meat and eggs. We're going to turn on grain for next year. That's great. We can't move this. We can move this just as soon as the beaver's done. We're just going to pop this over here for now. So I can pop that where that was, and then we're going to put our granary here. Granary, yes, needs planks and fabric, of which we have the fabric already. Excellent, excellent. Cool. We're at hostility 3. We don't want to be at hostility 3 because of cloudburst. So we're going to do this. And we're going to do this. Actually, we're going to do this. Okay. We need a kiln. Ooh, there's a carpenter, though. We definitely take the carpenter. We take the carpenter because we've got the ability to grow crystallized dew. This gives us our 3rd building for building materials, and it gives us access to tools at 2 stars. So altogether, that is a game-winning building in this situation. So hopefully we'll be able to build that soon. Lizards are unhappy, but they lose happiness so slowly that I think we're okay there. We do need to start looking at trade routes. Oh, we got some clay I can sell. We got some clay I can sell. We've got reeds. Now, of course, selling works on the standing level. It also gives us our protected trade. And to build geysers, I need pipes. I just need pipes. Okay. You are now allowed to make pipes. 20 pipes. We can put a human in here. Actually, pickled goods are fine if we have the stuff for them. and we will make fabric out of exclusively leather. Throw a human in the granary. Throw 2 humans in the granary. And that should stabilize a couple of things. Remember, shift gets all of them. And okay, the woodpecker technique would guarantee we have food. +2 to leather would guarantee we have leather. Free reeds and clay helps us get building materials. Of these, I think I want... I think I want the exploration contract. You usually have a good woodpecker technique, but we've got a good source of meat in the ranch. And I don't think we need as much cloth for tanning racks, so we're going to go with the exploration here. But also, it's year 7, which means that if you're on Twitch, this is going to be a brief interruption, but if you're on YouTube, this is where we end this video, because we do half a town per video. It's already been basically an hour. So if you sat through this long, I very much appreciate you spending all this time, giving me an hour's worth of your attention. Remember, you can catch me live on twitch.tv/DreadCanary Monday and Thursday nights at 8:30 p.m. where we play an entire town. Usually takes 2.5 to 3 hours. So you can come, sit around, you can be in chat, let me know that I'm not streaming to an empty void, and you can talk to me. I respond. I love it. So it would be great if you could be here. Regardless, if you want notifications about my stream or other projects I'm working on, like that card game, you can follow me on Twitter @GhostFinchMedia. And that is where I post all of my updates. I'm working on revamping the website, and I'll start posting links to that below as well. Regardless, I do appreciate your time. I hope to see you in the next one. Have yourselves a great day.